colors, colors, colors. Nightmare walking, psychopath talking.
King of my jungle, just a gangster stalking, living life like a firecracker, quick as my fuse, been dead as a.
Come on, Ice-T, we can do better than that. You in your 60s. Come on, bruh. Let's do it! Happy New Year, folks. This is Hard Hat Conversation. Today is Monday, January the 6th, 2025. I'm your host, Richard, stationed here in Cleveland, Ohio. I'd like to welcome all of my listeners. Thank you. And let's start off the new year fresh. I hope everybody had a Merry Christmas and this Happy New Year. This is the 6th day of January of 2025. We're getting ready to have a new president elected. And let's have a good year, folks. Whatever it is, weight loss, money gain, relationships, whatever you got to fix on and work on, make sure you start off small. Because if you try to jump the gun, you know what's going to happen. It's going to explode. So let's relax and work on our projects and take our time and do the best we can. Like I said, I'm Richard. I'm stationed here in Cleveland, Ohio. And let's get into it, folks. We got to start off the new year right. I know there's a viral video going around about, I got to go to my notes, folks. You know that. Ice-T. Ice-T is a rapper. He's been around a long time. I grew up listening to him. We're close to the same age. He's a little bit older than me. But I'm quite sure you know him from Law and Order and things like that. Never heard too much crazy about him going on, what was in his life. Seemed like he made a name for himself and did pretty good. But we got a little incident, folks. We had a little setback with Ice-T. And I got to talk about it for a minute, folks. Ice-T was stopped. I forgot what location it was. But he was stopped for, a cop stopped him for not having tags on his car, suspended registration. A note say license were expired. All those are things that can get your car towed and stuff like that, folks. So that's the law, and we all know it. Coming folks like us, we all know it. We probably experienced it ourselves, or some people we know experienced it. But here's the deal, folks. I'm not going to jump on Ice-T too hard, but I got to jump on him when he's wrong, in my opinion. This is Hard Hat Conversations. We try to tell the truth here, whether we like it or not. If it's a family member, friend, or somebody we don't know, you're wrong, you're wrong. But, you know, wrongs can always be corrected. So it's not the end of the world, but it's a teaching moment for some of us that's still growing. And just because you a certain age, that don't mean you stop growing. You're always growing until you're not living no more. So you're always learning new things. I am too as well. So if you Google the video on YouTube, you'll see Ice Cube confronting the cop. At first, it started off real pleasant. The cop had his body camera on. He was being cordial, peaceful, no problem. And then after a series of questions, Ice-T got agitated. And I'm not reading his mind, but from just what I see and saw, that he thought he was going to get some special privilege. I guess when you an actor, a comedian, stuff like that, I talked about this in my podcast before. I guess when you think you have a certain amount of money and people know you, that everybody's supposed to know you and care about you and your career and stuff, well, just to shine a little light on it, everybody don't know you. And everybody don't care about your career. And I'm not saying that in a mean way. It's just people got other things that they're interested in, and you're not the focal point. Now, you have an audience out there, of course, or you wouldn't be making the money that you are right now, which is fine. But don't assume that when you out of your acting zone, when you're not on the set, you're not on the stage, you out here with regular six-pack Joe, you're not out here in your environment. This is the real world. The world you live in is catered to you, and you stay in that little bubble, just like we have to stay in our bubble down here. We can't come in your world unless we have a certain amount of money and a certain amount of status. And the same thing with you. You come down in our world, hey, it is what it is, right? So everything, like I said, the cop, look at the video. The cop did everything right, didn't cause no problems. But of course, and I don't want to bring color into it, but I know other races do it as well. But it seems like we are agitated by the police. And let me tell you something, folks. We know the history of some police, not all. And I don't want to go too far down that road. But I've been stopped by cops in nice neighborhoods. I was a delivery driver. The cops I ran into was cordial, and a few of them didn't even give me a ticket. You know why? Because I showed respect. So no matter what walk of life you are responsible for showing that person respect. I don't care how much money they don't have or do have. I don't care where they live at or don't live at. Everybody wants that common thing, and that's respect. The man doing this job, he's being polite. He wasn't cussing at you. He wasn't coming at you hard. He was just asking a series of questions. Why you don't have why your license expired, why your registration expired. And here's the thing. I can get it if you miss a month or two. I've done that before, folks. I missed a couple of months. I didn't look at my license. You know, my birthday around Christmas time. You know, I'm doing all the holidays. You know, I'm all giddy and going around. And sometimes you forget a few months here and there. But 3 years? And I know he said, I heard a point that Ice-T said that the car was sitting. But even in some states, in some cities, your car sitting in your driveway or your lot still supposed to be registered properly. So it is what it is. We don't have to get in all that little tidbitty stuff. But the point I'm making is, Ice-T, just show some respect. Everybody don't know you. And if they did know you, still got to show respect. Come on. That's the common thing. Be nice. Okay? Come on, Ice-T. Be nice, man. We like you. But when you're wrong, you're wrong. Respect the police officer. He ain't got time to be catering you. He's not your personal motorcade. Can you take me up here or follow me up here? He don't have time for that. He's trying to fight crime for the common folks. Come on. So be kind to your fellow police officer. He's treating you nice. And he probably would have just gave you one ticket, or wouldn't have gave you a ticket at all if you would have just said, oh, I'm sorry, officer. I know I should have did. It's been a long time. I'm trying to get up there. You should have Ubered or had somebody drive you up there with all that paperwork. Come on, Ice-T. The world don't revolve around you. It don't revolve around me. We have rules. That's why we have rules. To keep people safe. That's why we have rules. To keep order. When you're on the show called Law and Order, Law and Order, remember that? Oh, I forgot you was acting. And that's the problem. When you stop acting, you forget the real world. Stop this stuff, y'all. And a lot of y'all that's going to comment, like, and subscribe, quit defending this bad behavior. Because if you was in that same position, you'll be upset somebody screaming at you and yelling at you. What you want the cop to do? Not follow the law? And as soon as something happened, the cop don't follow the law. You're going to blame the cop. Why didn't the cop stop him? That accident wouldn't have happened. The cop let him go. He was driving with a suspended license or expired license. Let's get the cop for that. Come on, folks. What do you want the cop to do? You switch shoes with him and do it. I can understand if the cop was all belligerent and angry and attacking the man. The cop didn't do nothing. Then he started calling the cops names. 60-something-year-old man, been blessed in the world with money and fame. He cussing the cop out, calling him all kind of names. The cops didn't call him no names. Would the cops been right to call him a name? And then he got this sergeant that came along. They must be buddies. If you look at the video closely, folks, just watch the video. Soon as the sergeant came, Ice-T told him, "How you doing, Sarge?" He said Sarge, not sergeant. He said it's like the way he spoke to him, like he knew him. And after the video and listening to him, you got to give him 4 tickets? Can you give him 2? That's Ice-T, man. Don't you know who that is? That's basically what the other cop wanted to say, but he couldn't say it on camera. So the other cop wanted to tow the car. Now, he didn't have to tow the car. He can if he want to. And I know he got aggravated because he was getting called names and belittled, and Ice-T was trying to tell him how to do his job. I get that. We get a little emotional. So what y'all gonna do, beat him up because of that? I'm quite sure somebody call you names and attack you while you doing your job, customer service, tire changer, McDonald's worker, Burger King worker, Target, Walmart, cashier, salesman, on and on. I bet you get agitated, the public agitate you, and you just trying to do your job. So let's be fair here. It's all about attitude and respect. You'll walk away. It ain't got nothing to do with race. Don't even bring that up in there. Please don't. Because what's wrong is wrong. Okay, folks? All right, Ice-T. Do better, man. You on Law and Order, or you was. Come on. And then you on Car Shield. Come on, man. All right, let's move off of that. That was good the way to start it off today, man. I like Ice-T actually, but you're wrong, Come on. Ain't nothing wrong with being humble, folks. Come on. Let's not lose that character. All right, this next thing I want to talk about, folks, is I didn't get a lot of research on it. Just saw a few news clips. The holidays going on, like I said. So kind of busy, but getting back in the order of things right now. Feeling good and everything, So this terror attack we had in New Orleans, I just wrote a few notes down just to glance at real quick, folks. I don't know much about it. I think there was, if I quote a few things wrong, like, subscribe, comment, let me know. Like I said, I try to do research on the fly sometimes, busy schedule, working and doing other things. I know that in New Orleans it was, one was in New Orleans and the other one was at Trump Tower, and I think both of them was they active soldiers or veterans. I'm not sure, but I know they both was veterans. I know that for sure. One used a Tesla truck to blow up a Tesla truck, a rented one. I feel bad for the guy that rented him the Tesla. I ain't think he would expect this Tesla truck to be blown up like that in front of Trump Towers. And then the other one ran a pickup truck around, I think 3 in the morning, just ran through a crowd in Bourbon Street, down in New Orleans, running over people. Then I heard shooting and stuff like that. And I don't know, man. I was in the military, but that was a long time ago. And we need to talk about this, but I'm going to do another show on this. Maybe bring a couple of veterans on. Just a quick summary. There's a lot of stuff going on with our country as it is, and it is affecting our military. Folks, our military is our last line of defense, whether you know it or not. Not the police, not the FBI, our military. If we don't have a decent whole military, you have other countries that will try to take over your country. We done it in the past, in the old. Other countries doing it. We have spies. We have everything. There's a reason to have military. Nobody likes war. Nobody likes killing. It's just a part of life because that's how we live down here on this earth. And it's a sad situation because we got plenty of resources and everything, but that's just the way it is, and we have to go with the flow. There's not enough of us to make changes, but we still don't stop fighting on trying to make changes, folks. There are evil people out there. Everybody is not mentally ill. There's some people that just evil, okay? There's a thing called good and evil. Every time somebody do a heinous crime, you think they're mentally ill. Not all the time. Some of them are just evil. You have smart people that commit crime. Doctors, lawyers, scientists, police officers, all walks of life, garbage men. All these people are not mentally ill. They're just, some of them are just evil, folks. And we don't want to admit that. That's the elephant in the room that we want to stay hidden. But it's the reality. Okay? So, I think we need to work on our military because, folks, I think everybody can be what they want to be, do what they want to be, long as they are in the set of rules of our whole society. Okay? If our society said, this is the rules, you have to stay in these rules right here. We have to do that for the better of all of us. Even though we disagree with some of the rules, as long as it doesn't hurt anybody, we have to stay in a construct of rules. Or I would do what I want to do. Jim would do what he want to do. Nancy would do what she want to do. Shamika would do what she want to do. You know, Devontae would do what he wanted to. So we can't do that, folks. So we have to have a set of rules. So I think our military is hurting right now. It has been weakened. There's no pride in the United States anymore because every time you hear something on the news, America is this, America is that. And like I said, I'm not going to go into it, but we know every country has its bad times and bad days. But guess what, folks? The same country that you're screaming about, you living in it right now. What can you do to make it better? You ain't got to save the world, but you can make your one little circle that you live in better. What are you doing? Are you being a productive citizen? Are you obeying the laws the best you can? I know there's some unjust laws, and that's why we have amendments and we protest and fight. Peaceful protest. So what are you doing to keep your part? Because you can't make people do stuff. You can give them advice. You can talk to them. Give them some type of solutions. Some may work for them, some may not. But you can't make people do. When you start making people do things, that's when people start fighting back, folks. So we have to have that. I may not like your ideology, but I respect it. Just like you should respect my ideology. That's the way we survive diplomacy, folks. Once we start losing that diplomacy, then we're going to go crazy, okay? So our military is hurting right now. We got to get some pride back in that military. We do, folks. We got to get some more pride. And America, people of America, we got to get some pride in America again, United States. This is where you live at. You can't hate everything about it. And quit screaming that you hate it. Work on those things that you see wrong. And do it peacefully. Things can be changed peacefully. You don't have to fight all the time. You ain't got to hurt nobody. I'm talking to every American out there. I don't care what color you are, what language you are, whatever. We have to do better, folks. We can do better. Start with yourself. Don't worry about what I'm doing and what somebody else doing right away. Fix yourself first. So our military got to get together, folks. We got to have some pride in this country. Come on, y'all. Because if we don't, the enemy is coming in within, and they're going to destroy us from within, because they don't have a big enough army to destroy us, but they can sneak in and destroy us from within by us attacking each other. And that's what we're doing right now, folks. And we got to stop that. We got to stop that. We all live here. All right, folks? Sorry, I don't mean to preach to you. Just coming from the heart. You know, I live here too. I just want to live in peace. All right, folks, let's get off of that. Y'all got me going today. I want to get into sports a little bit. I want to start with the New England Patriots for you sports fans. Um, their owner, Robert Kraft. We all know about Robert Kraft. He got a little history. About what, 80 something now? Close to it if he ain't. We know Robert Kraft, the Super Bowl with Tom Brady, Lottie D, Lottie Die, Video Gate. I'm sorry, everybody always got to bring up some dirty laundry. What was that other one? The Tuck Rule. My sports fans know what I'm talking about. Um, they hired a black coach. This their first black coach New England ever had, and they fired him after 1 year. After they fired Bill Belichick. Well, I don't know if they fired him or he quit. And now Robert Kraft, the great Robert Kraft, you know, that said he wanted this guy. This guy was only 37 years old, young man. Fired him after his first year. Now you're in a rebuild. And I don't care what color you are, because we always try to make everything out of color. I try not to, but sometimes you have to talk about it just to get a point across. And I think you have to give a coach, any coach that you decide to hire on any team, sports team, you got to give him at least 3 years. Come on. He can't do nothing in the first year. If he do, it's a miracle. But at least 3 years, folks. And then if you don't see nothing after 3 years, it's time to go. Time is short. Players' careers are short. You don't have them that long anymore because of free agency. I just think it's sad that that they let that guy go after 1 year. And but another tidbit that let me go to my notes. Jacoby Brissett was the first black quarterback ever started for the New England. But do you know? I'm gonna give you a little history. You know who's the first black quarterback for New England? They used to be called the Boston Patriots. His name was Henry Jackson. I hope I said his name right. Google him up. Henry Jackson. I think they drafted him in 1969. I hope I wrote that down right. I did a little research, folks. He never started. They was called the Boston Patriots back then. He never started, but he was the first black quarterback drafted. So that's a little bit of history for you right there. So I just think 3 years, folks. Maybe I'm wrong. Like, subscribe, comment. Let's go next to the Browns. My beloved Cleveland Browns, because like I told you, folks, I'm stationed here in beautiful Cleveland, Ohio. You know what we going through as Browns fans, so I don't have to tell you folks out there that's listening. They're getting the number 2 draft pick. Of course, we saw them taking the games. If anybody didn't see that, they're crazy. They threw in all kind of different quarterbacks, and they was doing that on purpose. So the Browns got the number 2 pick. I think they should trade down. I don't know how far they got to go to get a couple of picks. Try to trade down a little bit to see if we can get 2 picks. Because in my opinion, as a lifelong Cleveland Browns fan, of course, here we go. We need to get another quarterback. And we need to get a running back. Our defense is pretty decent. It ain't the greatest, but it's decent right now. But those 2 things are the main things we need. We need that quarterback again. I don't know if we want to get a veteran quarterback or we want to start off with a young kid. We can get both, probably. The Browns made that mistake. They should have brought, I can't even think of his name now. He used to play for the Ravens. The one the Browns had last year that went to the playoffs. They should have brought him back, but of course they didn't want to upset Deshaun Watson. Why are we focusing? The whole team is focusing around one guy. And I know your quarterback's supposed to be a leader, but this guy has shown no leadership. I know he's been injured here and there. Plus he had his own personal issues coming in. And why are we catering to one guy? I just don't get that. And whoever making those decisions, if it's not the owner, which I doubt it, because he's paying the big bucks. And don't forget, the Browns was the first NFL organization to guarantee a contract like that. So it had to be, the owner had to be involved in that. That's my opinion. To pay out that kind of money and to guarantee it, that's owners. That's the owner got his hand in that, not the coach. That's the owner. Because he's the one putting up the front money. He's the one investing the big money, guaranteeing that money. Now everybody's doing it now. The sports, I'm telling you, man, like I said, I got to get a pen on there. We got to talk about this. You got FanDuel taking over BetMGM. You got Fanatics. You got all these different sports books coming up. And they're really tearing up the sports, folks. I'm telling you, there's a lot of corruption going on. Because that's a lot of money being made. That's a lot of money. Now they're taking over the networks, too, and running the sports. This is crazy, man. I see Pete Rose rolling in his grave. This is crazy. And they blatantly doing it right in front of us, and we don't care. And you know what's saving them? Like they said, the NBA is down. NBA don't care about them ratings. They care about that in dollars. And that sports, even though their ratings are down, they still getting paid. And don't forget, the betting sports came in. That's another source of revenue besides the TV deals. They giving these guys these. It just I can't even. I just can't even. I'm not. I don't want to sound like a hater, folks, but really, folks, you got people out here struggling, trying to make a living. These companies don't even want to pay them nothing, and you paying this guy millions, hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars to play a game. But like I said before in my other podcast, that's our fault. That's what the market bear. This is a capitalism country. And the only way it's going to change if we start changing our habits and saying no, we're not going to play with sports like that. It's too much money. We can't afford it. But they're getting it somewhere. We're spending it. They're not growing that money on trees. So we have to take a look at ourselves, folks, while we sit up here complaining. We're buying all this high-priced merchandise. We got other serious issues going on, folks. Homelessness. Our way of life is crumbling down. It's horrible. Two-parent households working. Other people watching your kid grow up. This is sickening, folks, and nobody's talking about it. Nobody. And then we wondering why we got young people out here stealing cars, shooting, killing, robbing, raping. This is insane, folks. Our children become grown adults doing adult things. And we created that for them. It's our fault. It's grandma's fault. It's uncle's fault. It's dad and mom's fault. Because we're not telling our so-called lawmakers to stop this insanity, quit trading our jobs overseas. Everybody can't work service jobs here. We got to make some stuff. We got it, and I hear about Donald Trump doing tariffs and stuff, but that's not going to be enough. We got to force some of these companies to come back, or we don't buy some of their goods. Oh, that's going to mess up the world market. Oh well, let it mess up. People over here suffering. We was sustaining ourselves before World War II, and we can do it again. Now, if we all want an economy that's right for America, then we need to have the other countries got to start respecting us as well. And these companies that so-called American Christian companies, they need to do better. Yeah, I said it. These so-called Christian companies buy American and all this garbage. Y'all need to do better because the saying y'all talking out of one side of y'all neck and doing another thing with them sweatshops and everything else. Sweatshops ain't gone away, they just changed names. You got big companies. Do I need to call out a few of them? Let me just give you a couple. Walmart. How you think they keep their prices low? Come on. Target. Come on. Grocery stores. Come on. Name them all. Let's not be afraid. Low wage labor. Low wage labor. And any of you out there that's in the union, you know how it is when you fight for your contract, they don't even want to give you a quarter. But they want you to work multitask. So come on, folks. Let's start getting together. Like Scribe Company. Come up with some answers. Let's work together in a peaceful way. Companies, work with the people. You ain't got too greedy now. Because this inflation made you rich. The only people that got hurt is me and the rest of my brothers and sisters out there that's struggling and trying to make a living. Rich people didn't struggle, they made good. Grocery stores, all the stores, oil companies, electric companies, natural gas companies, they all made it good. Inflation don't hurt them. It only hurts the working poor, because the working poor is the one that buy the products and get screwed on them. All right, folks. This is Hard Hat Conversations. I just want you to go in peace. Let's work on these New Year's resolutions. Let's try to smile a little more, folks. Let's change it up a little bit. Smile and laugh a little more. It's easy to get that old grumpy face and want to fight all the time. That's easy. Let's show a little bit of love, you know. Let's have some fun, folks. Workplace, wherever you at. Anytime you leave your home, walk with a good attitude. Leave with a good attitude. All right, everybody. This is Richard, stationed here in Cleveland, Ohio. This is Hard Hat Conversation. Go in peace. I'll see you pretty soon, okay? Adios.